Have you ever looked up at a massive crane just parked in the middle of the city and wondered, how on earth does that get built? Well, if you have, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on construction management, the incredible, hidden process that takes a simple idea and turns it into a concrete, steel and glass reality. So yeah, how does a massive skyscraper go from being just a drawing on a piece of paper to a landmark that shapes the city's skyline? The secret, really, is a masterful process of managing what I can only describe as controlled chaos. It's so much more than just bricks and steel. It's about having a super structured, carefully thought out plan. And that's what we're going to dive into, the plan. You can think of it as the construction playbook. It's this methodical, step-by-step journey that guides every single decision and makes sure that all that chaos actually stays controlled. And here it is. This is basically the entire life cycle of a building, broken down into 6 main stages. You start with initiation, move into design, then pre-construction and procurement, then you get to the actual construction, and finally, you wrap it all up with the closeout. This is the roadmap we're going to be following. Okay, so where on that roadmap do we even begin? Well, long before a single shovel ever hits the dirt, a truly mind-boggling amount of work has to get done. You see, the very first foundation that gets laid isn't made of concrete at all. It's made of paper. That's right. Those first 3 stages we just saw, initiation, design, and pre-construction, it's all about building the entire project on paper first. This is where you figure out if the project is even possible with feasibility studies. It's where all the detailed plans get drawn up. And crucially, it's where all the contracts are signed and the permits are secured. All this paperwork, you can think of it as the project's DNA. It is the legal and operational backbone of the entire thing. You've got the drawings, which are the visual plans, specifications, which get super detailed about the exact materials and quality, and of course the contracts and permits that make the whole thing official and legal. Okay, so once all that paperwork is solid and the real building finally begins, how does a manager keep such an insanely complex process on track? I mean, how do you even measure progress on something that could take months or even years to finish? Well, the answer lies in using milestones. Now, a milestone isn't a task. It's not something that takes up time. It's what's called a zero-duration checkpoint. Just think of it like planting a flag in the ground to say, okay, this huge, important phase is officially complete. Let's make this super clear. A task is the work you actually perform, like, say, laying shingles for 3 days. The milestone is the achievement you get after that work is all done. Roof installed. Boom. See the difference? That distinction is absolutely crucial for tracking real progress without getting bogged down in the day-to-day grind. And here you can see what that looks like in practice. You've got the project kickoff, then you hit the first big milestone, foundation completion. Next up, you finish the main skeleton, or structural frame erected. Then you make the building weatherproof. That's a milestone called building envelope or dry-in. Each one is a massive achievement that builds on the last, pushing you closer to that final. But of course, even the most perfect plan is going to face some obstacles, right? It's never a perfectly straight line from one milestone to the next. A huge part of managing a project is about navigating the real-world risks and, yeah, the hidden dangers that can pop up on a site at any time. You know, pretty much every single construction site has potential hazards. We're talking about contaminants. These are harmful substances that can get released during demolition or from heavy machinery. And they pose a very real threat not just to the workers on site, but to the entire surrounding environment. These contaminants usually fall into a few key categories. You've got your physical ones, like silica dust that comes from cutting concrete. Then there are chemical ones, like solvents and paints. And then you have the really serious stuff, the hazardous materials like asbestos, which you might find during demolition. Managing each of these is a huge part of the job. All right, so after navigating all those risks and hitting all the milestones, the project finally gets near the finish line. This is what's known as the closeout phase. It's the last big wrap-up right before the keys are handed over. And a critical milestone right here at the end is called substantial completion. This is the official point where the building is ready to be used for what it was built for. It can be occupied, even if there's still a few minor little touch-ups left to do. So you might be asking, what's the difference between that and the actual end? Well, it's a big one. Substantial completion means the client can literally move in and start using the building.
But the final handover, that's the official legal transfer of the entire project and all the responsibility that comes with it from the contractor over to the owner.
As part of that final handover, the owner gets this complete package of documents. This includes stuff like as-built drawings, which show exactly how everything was actually constructed, warranties for all the equipment, and all the operating manuals they'll need to maintain their new building.
So really, the big takeaway here is this. Construction is so much more than just materials and labor. It is a masterpiece of management. It's a highly structured, incredibly complex process designed to turn a creative vision into a tangible, concrete reality. So the next time you see a brand new building, you'll have some idea of the incredible journey it took to get there.